So today I'll be talking about how to create a winning pitch deck. But first, let me introduce myself for those of you who didn't attend the Ask Me Anything session. So I'm Lisa, I'm co-founder of Cardloop. We are a conversational SMS marketing platform that helps e-commerce brands drive revenue and build better customer relationships by texting with customers in real time. Our customers are mostly Shopify and Shopify Plus brands from UK, US, Australia, and Canada. And a little bit about my background. I have a non-stereotypical background because I previously studied and graduated from med school. And while studying medicine, I started 2 e-commerce brands as a side gig. I was just learning everything on my own and with the help of my co-founder, Andre. And I remember I was so passionate. I was becoming so passionate about e-commerce and tech, and I found a lot of skills that I was good at. I was gaining a lot of skills along the way, and I realized that that was my e-commerce and tech were my true passions. So after I graduated 2 years ago, I started a SaaS company with Andre. That was our first one. And yeah, after trials and errors, Cardloop was born last year. So I think this month we have 1 year since we launched. And yeah, we after a month from launching, we raised our first round of funding, and we also won an international startup competition in November 2020. It's How the Web. Maybe perhaps a lot of you are familiar with it. But enough about me. Let's just jump into the actual presentation. So I just want to start explaining what a pitch deck is, just a short description. So basically it's a presentation. It can be a Google slide. You can do it in Pitch as I just did it. It's a very nice tool, or just a keynote presentation where entrepreneurs or startup founders put together a lot of information regarding their business in order to raise money for their company from investors. And on average, pitch decks should be no more than 90 slides. It also depends a lot of the investors that you're actually going to pitch. You have to do your research before to see what do they care about. So what part of the pitch deck would they care about? And I will explain it to you in the next slide. So the basic structure of a pitch deck. So what you should include. So firstly, and this as a disclaimer, these are all aspects that I've learned along the way, and that we actually applied to our pitch deck. So we got tons and tons of feedback from investors, from other entrepreneurs, and we managed to finally get a grasp of how a pitch deck should look like and what it should include and what investors actually care about. Okay, so first is the team or the founding team. It depends on how many of you are in your startup. Then jump into the problem, solution, unique selling proposition. So this is why are you different? What makes you different? The market, traction, competition, go-to-market strategy. How are you going to? This means how are you going to get to revenue? What's your marketing strategy? What are you planning to do? How are you planning to put your idea out there and sell it to people? Then the roadmap. You need to have a clear vision where you're going forward. And the business model, basically how are you making money? And of course, at the end, you can include the amount you want to raise, but this is optional. And yeah, some notes that apply to the entire presentation. So make sure if you include any statistics, for example, you will need statistics for the problem and the market slides. Then make sure to reference everything. So investors won't think that's just something that you came up with or invented or something like that. It needs to be proven. Then keep it as clear, as simple as possible. Avoid all the jargon or the marketing fluff. Just keep it straight to the point, make it visual, add as many images, videos, even a product demo or prototype. So people who are going to read your pitch deck are going to understand it better and much easier. Make it compelling, try to create hype around your product. And what I've seen from the feedback that we got, so investors spend the most time on the unique selling proposition slide, traction. They want to see you actually did something until that current stage. Business model, so how are you making money and how are they going to profit? And roadmap, they wanna see that you're confident and that you have a clear vision. And remember, investors will invest in you and your team and the vision you got. So this is the most important aspect. And you are the most valuable asset of the company. And don't forget, include your logo on each slide. Let's just jump. Oh yeah, and I added here a couple more guidelines that I realized since we started with Cardloop. So I'm a modest person. I don't really like to brag, or I feel like that imposter syndrome that a lot of the founders have. I have it as well, or at least I had it. I'm trying to get rid of it. But yeah, just share your journey, your background, expertise, and achievements. Basically, you represent the product. You are the product. They invest in you. Focus on what makes you different. Again, share the aspects that make your product unique that your competitors don't have, or even if they have it, just share something perhaps about your team. Okay, our competitors might have this same feature as we do, but they don't have our team. They don't have our resources. So yeah, just try to find that differentiator. And yeah, have a clear vision, be confident, share the big picture. So where are you going to go with that product? How does your roadmap look like? And how are you going to get there? What are the steps? These are very three aspects that I would highly recommend you keep in mind. Okay, let's jump into the first slide of the pitch deck. So the first one is the team. And I would suggest you put it in the beginning because as I mentioned, you are the most important aspect. Investors will basically invest in you. And if you think about it, if you are like a strong founder and you have a clear vision, you want to grow, you are easily adapted, an easily adapted person, you are resilient, you're perseverant, you will definitely succeed. Even if not with your current product, but with your next ones, you will definitely succeed. It just depends on the kind of person you are. So investors want to see that. They want to see, they want to have that confidence that if they invest in you and something might go wrong, they will have the trust in you that you will be able to, to rise again the second day and just start something new or think of another way to approach your product and get to success. So again, you are the most important thing. And yeah, they want to know what your background is, what drives you, what kind of person you are. And they want to find out what makes you so unique and your co-founders to execute on your mission and vision. And yeah, even if your product idea is not disrupting your industry and you might have a lot of competition, what's important is how you build it and the execution behind it. Because remember, 10% is the idea and 90% is the execution. And yeah, one thing that I learned during my founder experience is that your team is your best asset and they will be the one paving your path to success. And also, don't be afraid to talk about your failures, your ups and downs. That will make them actually realize that you are a strong and resilient founder. And yeah, just try to include the background, the experience, achievement, and social links so they can follow you anywhere they want. Okay, nice. Let's jump. Oh, and yeah, optional. If you have other team members, you can include them as well, and just try to emphasize what's the best part about each of your team members. So if they have worked previously on like some I don't know, known companies, or how many years of expertise do they have. Try to, emphasize what's best about them. And again, the team is very important, not just the founders. Then the second or the third slide is the problem. So here, this should be a way for you to explain what gap you are filling in the market. What was the pain point you encountered, and why do you think it needs a solution? And remember to explain the problem such as investors find it easy to understand and know your target audience will benefit from solving that problem. Try to stick, I would highly recommend you try to stick to one single problem so it's not confusing. And this way investors will see that you have a clear mission and you are able to stay focused on solving that specific problem. Touching on too many problems can come up as being unsure and unreliable of what I've seen so far and the feedback that I've got. And note, when an investor gets involved with your venture, is either because one of the following things is happening. So they have experienced the same problem in the past, or there is a clear sense of ROI down the line for them. So they can actually sense that profit already, or given their professional expertise, they understand it. So for example, if you have a solution in the healthcare industry, and you get some doctors as investors, they will definitely understand it way easier. Yeah. Okay, let's move into the solution. So here, the solution needs to be concise and very clear. Try to explain the solution as you were explaining it to a 5-year-old. Especially if you are a tech startup, your solution needs to be scalable. So show that as well. Show that it can scale. And investors will see that potential in your product if they can see scalability. And in the end, they are looking for ROI. So again, they're looking to profit, even if they are, investing in you for the long run. Then so the solution will be combined with the unique selling proposition slide. So here is your time to shine. Show why and how are you different. Try to make it visible. Include a product demo, product images, or even a Figma prototype. You can create like very nice Figma prototypes, and even if you don't yet have the product, try to make it visible so people understand better the problem and the solution that you are solving. And also try to stick to simple words, enhance 2 or 3 key differentiators, and so these key differentiators should be related to the product itself. However, you can also include things like speed of execution or localization, or again, resources or stuff like that. But try to emphasize the key differentiators within the product, not like within the entire company. And also you can include, if you already have like quotes of your existing clients, reviews, testimonials, and so on. Then there's the market slide. This is very important. Investors always look at how big the market is and how big is it going to be in the next years. So yeah, especially if it's not the main market they have been investing in so far, you have to address all of their concerns. And one tip is during investor calls or meetings. So if you have investor calls or meetings, try to ask them as many questions as possible to understand the way they think and what they care about in a company. And if you go online, there are tons and tons of questions that you can ask investors that will definitely help you. And they will help you get a sense of how your company is viewed by investors, how they view the competitive landscape and the addressable market that you're in, the KPIs, and how big the team's impact is for them. So how much they care about the team of a company. And you can also flip the script and ask questions like, hey, what is the one thing you think I'm underestimating or being naive about? Or what are the main barriers you see to our success? what are the main concerns you have that could cause you not to invest in us. And this way you will learn a ton about how investors think, how you should raise money, and how to run your company as well. And here, feel free to include charts, graphics, and make sure to include the most accurate and recent statistics as well. Okay, the traction slide. This is optional, of course, if you're just starting out and you do not yet have customers and you're only, I don't know, at the idea stage or MVP stage. This is optional. Of course, you would not have anything to show, but if you do have some traction, think of including the generated revenue, the number of active customers, month-over-month growth. This is super important for investors to see, like, if there's any progress within the company, and the average gross margin. And you can also include it, as I did in this slide, you can include like a chart to make it as visible as possible, to make those numbers as visible as possible. Okay, then there's the competition slide. This is a very important slide. Investors usually look at this. So when you compare yourself with each of your competitors, try to tackle 3 or 4 key aspects and address how you're different. And you can use a diagram or just include their logos. You don't have to do it like it's here. You can just add their logos and add a couple of bullet points on the side and explain why you are unique and how are you going to get to that point that will make you perhaps at least the same successful as your competitors, or even more successful. And yeah, another thing that you can include in this slide is how much capital each competitor has already raised and at what valuation. And this could help in providing some perspective on how much the market is paying on those solutions and products. And it's a validation point for investors. And yeah, this could also play in your favor when you will negotiate the terms of the deal or proceeding with a potential investment. Then there's the go-to-market strategy slide. So here you have to include your action plan. How do you plan on making money? How does your marketing strategy look like? What are the channels that you're going to focus on? Why, how, and when are you going to do each and every single one of them? Here, the clearer you are, the better. You can add as many details as possible, and you include your current strategy if you already have any, or if you already started, with marketing, or just in this particular area of the business. Then there's the roadmap slide, very important. Basically, the roadmap represents your vision and how do you see yourself going forward. And you can use this slide to showcase the progress that you've made so far and the milestones you aim to hit. And investors would love to know how sound is your road mapping and timeline planning. So what major goals have you achieved so far, and what are the major next steps you plan on taking? And you can use this template right here. So the same that I did, where you basically you split the roadmap into quarters, and then you can showcase current funding, annual recurring revenue, number of customers, market, and the product focus of that specific quarter. Then there's the business model. So this is pretty straightforward. Basically, how are you going to make money, or how are you already making money? What's your pricing model? Again, make it visible. If you have various plans, create 3 columns, or it depends on the number of the plans that you do have, or just make it visible, make some squares as I did here, or some charts, and yeah, just explain with a couple of bullets how the pricing model works and how each plan looks like and what it includes. And yeah, you can also include your target audience for each plan. So you of course you have like a specific target audience, but for that target audience, perhaps for some of them I don't know, that they could be more suitable for the first plan or the second or the third. Try to explain it how it actually works and how do you envision your pricing model and how it benefits your target audience. And then yeah, you can mention, so this basically is the last slide, where is basically like a thank you slide, thank you for the opportunity, and make sure to either include the average amount being raised. I would recommend you include this. Also, it depends what stage you're at, but I would recommend you include it because it will help you be more clear on how much are you raising and why now is the best opportunity for those investors to invest in you. And include a CTA, so such as thank you or join the opportunity or let's partner up. And don't forget to include your logo, as I did right here, so above, and your contact information and social media links, so they can always remember where they can reach out to you. Yeah, this is basically my pitch deck framework that I actually took a lot of templates from our current pitch deck, which again, we received tons and tons of feedback. So I also wanted to share it with you, so you don't make the same mistakes that we did.